Okay, good morning, class. Today we are working on CO25. I can use ratios to compare two numbers or quantities. So in order to do that, we need to know what a ratio is. A ratio compares a part to a part. So the first thing you need is that definition. A ratio compares a part to a part. We use a ratio to compare the number. This is an example. We can compare the number of boys to girls in our class. So we can write that ratio in three different ways. So how many boys do we have in here? Raise your hand. Let's count off the boys. So let's see, we've got one. When I point to you, put your hand down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 boys. How many girls do we have? Girls, raise your hands. When I point to you, put it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 girls. So, the ratio, we're going to have different numbers. So here, I'm going to put 13 boys to 14 girls. We're going to show what that ratio is going to look like. So I'm going to cross off the sample. We have 27 kids in our class. Okay. 13 are boys. 14 are girls. So we want to write that using the colon. We're going to put the boys first to the girls. So 13 colon to 14. We can use words 13 to 14. And we can put it as a fraction. The first number is your numerator. The second number is that denominator. So all three of those means 13 boys to 14 girls, because we said boys to girls, so we have to put that boy number first, then we put the girl number. So now it says write each ratio in its simplest form. What do you think that means if we have to write it in its simplest form? What do you think, Lila? We don't actually have to turn it into a fraction. One way is already a fraction, but no matter what, we're going to simplify the same way we would as a fraction if we see it with the colon or with the word to. So we have to look and see what number can I divide out of both sides. So I need to simplify by dividing out those numbers. So let's see what that looks like. This first one, 10 to 15, I can divide a 5 out of there. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And I'm going to write it in the same style as the original number. So if we look at our next one, 18 to 9, what could I simplify out of there? Liam? I could simplify out a 3. That would give me 6 to 3. Can I make it any smaller? Lila? Yeah, I can divide out another 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So always check, can I go smaller? just like when we're simplifying fractions, you always want to check, can I go even smaller? So let's look at 25 to 40. Emma? If I divide a 5 out, 25 divided by 5 is 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. That's as low as I can go. What about 27 to 12? 27 over 12. Nolan? What can I divide out of a 27 that I can divide out of 12? Sarah? A 3. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Notice how I'm writing the number I'm dividing out right next to it so I don't get confused by what I'm simplifying by. Whatever I divide one number by, I have to divide the other number by it. I can't switch them. So if I'm dividing a 3 out of the 27, I have to divide 3 out of the 12. So I always write it down to make sure I'm dividing correctly. You need to make sure that you're dividing evenly. If it cannot evenly come out, you cannot simplify by it. James? Okay, 28 to 35, what can we divide out, James? 28 divided by 7 is 4. 35 divided by 7 is 5. And I can't go any lower. And it says, you have a bag of 50 marbles. 12 are red, 16 are blue, 10 are white, 4 are green, and 8 are orange. Use this information to answer the questions below. Write your ratios in simplest form and in 2 different ways. So we have 3 ways. We have the colon, the word to, and the fraction. So you need to pick 2 of them. Okay, you need to show your ratio in 2 different forms, and they need to be as simple as they can get. So, what is the ratio of red marbles to blue marbles? So, red to blue. How do you think I could write that, Adeline? 12 to 16. Is that as simple as I can go? Emma? What can I divide out, Emma? So 12 divided by 2 is 6. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Is that as simple as I can go? What else can I divide out, Adeline? Another 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Is that as simple as I can go? Yes. So I'm going to circle that. That is one way to show my ratio. But it says to show it in 2 ways. What's another way I could write this ratio, Nolan P?
3 over 4.
3 over 4. I'm going to circle that one. If I wanted to, I could write it with the colons. Those are all 3 ways to show that ratio. You need to give me 2 of them, and they need to be in that simplest form of 3 to 4. Remember, whatever comes first in our question needs to be the first number. So what is the ratio of white marbles to green marbles? I need to put the white first. There are 10 white. And green has 4. So I have to go in that order. It has to go white to green. We can't flip them. So if I say 10 to 4, is that my final answer? Why not, Kylie? Yeah, what could I divide out of it? I can divide out a 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Can I go any simpler? Nope, that is it. So I'm going to circle that. How else can I write that ratio? What's another way to write it, Sophie? 5/2. What's another way to write it, Emma? 5:2. You're going to finish this page looking at what the ratio is, first number to second number, and then you're going to simplify and show it in two different ways. On our second page, it's the same thing. It's word problems, but we're going to work out those word problems. Your collection of pop cans and bottles is the ratio of 7:4. So 7 is the number of what? The pop cans or the bottles? Aiden? If it says pop cans and bottles and we have 7:4, we know that first number is going to be the pop cans. The second number is going to be the bottles. It's going to stay in the same order. Then it says you have 35 cans. So I have 35 cans. How many bottles do I have? So that 7:4 is the simplified. So if we have 35 pop cans and our ratio says 7, what did we simplify by? Bridget? A 5. So that's 7 times 5 equals 35. So what do I have to do to figure out how many bottles there are? James? Yeah, I'm going to multiply that 4 by that 5 because here I know it was 7 times 5 is 35. So here 4 times 5 is 20. So we're using the information we know about ratios and we're figuring out the answers to problems. It's not always going to be that super easy of how many white marbles to how many green marbles. We have to be able to use what we know with the information they're giving us to solve the problems. Our second question says your basketball game last night ended with your score and your opponent's score in a ratio of 10-9. Your team scored 40 points. How many points did the other team score? So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say, okay, 10-9 is my ratio. I know it's my score is first. The opponent's score is second. Other information I know. My team scored 40 points. So I'm going to put the 40 points right here. How many points did the other team score? So if I'm writing it out, I label my ratio. I put in the information that I know. What do I have to do to figure out the other team's score? Bennett? Why do you think it's 4?
Because 10 times 4 equals 40.
Yeah, because if I simplified that 40 down to 10, I know I was dividing out that 4. So 10 times 4 is 40, so I need to do 9 times 4. What is 9 times 4? Liam? 36. 9 times 4 is 36. Does it logically make sense? My team won. Is 40 bigger than 36? 40 is bigger than 36. So logically, that could make sense. If I had put 45, well, that wouldn't make sense, right? I can't win and have a smaller score than the opponent. So always go back and say, does it logically make sense? Any questions? So make sure you're labeling and you're figuring out what you have to do to find the missing information. If you are watching this at home, and if you have any questions, please come see me. I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.